Hey guys, so I've been a little bit busy lately and I haven't been pushing out as much videos as I'd hoped to, but let's get back on track and let's start pushing out videos once or twice every single week. So let's talk about the most major thing that's happening here, other than the fact that Apple Music is finally arriving with a V11 of the Tesla beta build. But the most exciting thing, for those of you guys that live in Toronto and you guys know with the geofencing happening in Toronto downtown, now that has been removed with the latest update. So obviously you guys know where I live, I'm not in downtown Toronto. I'm definitely not going to be driving all the way there just to test out that. But there is somebody on Twitter by the name of Chan Su, and he pushed out a beta build drive in downtown Toronto on the latest 10.93.3.1, and that shows that geofencing has finally been unlocked there, and that means that you guys can freely drive wherever you want. You can set a destination wherever in Toronto and be able to get there without any intervention. Now I shouldn't say no intervention because it's happening so much in Canada, especially where I live in Vancouver. You have to touch the steering controls at least once or twice during an entire drive, so hopefully it's a lot better in Toronto, but who knows, maybe it's a lot worse, maybe it's a lot better. We'll leave it for you guys up there with that beta build. Anyway, so just to elaborate a little bit more on what's going on, so about 8 months ago Tesla released FSD beta to Canada up here, so Canadians got to try out what the south side got to try out for the last few years, and that was really exciting. However, Toronto's were locked out in downtown. Now all of that was due to the TTC, and that is their transit system, their streetcars, and that means that because of those cars, FSD beta build has been restricted or geofenced only outside of Toronto downtown, which is unfortunate because the best place to really drive is in Toronto downtown, and that is the place where everything is happening, all the action is happening, and you really would just want to focus on that and not on the driving experience itself. Now unfortunately for the last 8 months nobody was able to drive down there. Now fortunately for me, Vancouver downtown was not blocked or not geofenced, so I couldn't really tell exactly what was happening over there. Does it just deactivate once it hits the border of downtown Toronto, or does it just switch over to autopilot? Somebody really has to elaborate on that because a lot of us that don't live in Toronto don't really get to understand what it's like when you're geofenced. Now I don't think this is happening anywhere around North America other than Toronto, so that's really surprising that that's the first spot that Tesla decided to geofence. But anyways, in 10.93.3.1 that has been completely removed, and here is a little snippet of what it's like to have it activated in downtown. Now a little bit more on the TTC, the street cars. Correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know too much about these cars, but just from reading online it looks like they do stop to let passengers off whenever the passengers request it. So that means that the Tesla with FSD beta don't really know how to react to this. The car just might be driving along and then the street car just randomly stops right there to let a passenger off, and the car gets a little bit confused, and this is where the whole situation comes up, and this is why Tesla has decided to delay it all the way up until now, right before the end of the year. Nevertheless, Tesla is really great for holding it off until everything is perfect or somewhat perfect at this point where it does behave really well with street cars. They've released it. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more videos on YouTube of what it's like with FSD beta build running with the street cars. Alright, and now all this leads us to a V11. You guys have all been talking about it. V11 is likely going to be coming out in the next month because Elon Musk has confirmed that it is going to be arriving before Thanksgiving, especially before the end of the year. So we're not sure if this is going to be a release to the US first and then to Canada after, or it's going to be all in one, but it looks like V11 is still on track. Look what Elon's saying on Twitter right now when somebody just recently posted it up saying if we're still on track for V11. Elon replies with making good progress, still tracking V11 by the end of the year, so that's really good. Hopefully it's not going to be one of those tweets that Elon says 2 more weeks and then it leads into the next year, 2023. So we're just going to have our fingers crossed right now that it is going to be arriving in the next few weeks. If you guys are waiting for your chance at FSD beta, just wait a little bit longer. It's gonna be really good when it gets into your car. The last thing here that I want to talk about is FSD beta subscription in Canada. I'm not exactly sure why it hasn't arrived yet. Tesla could be making so much money off of the subscription model, and if the subscription model pushes out around the world, I'm sure Tesla could benefit a lot from it, especially in Canada where FSD beta is already available. We're not really sure at this point. I don't see why Tesla couldn't just allow it, but this is completely up to them. Hopefully they're going to be enabling that feature sometime during the V11 update as well, so we just have to wait out on that. Anyways guys, this should be it for this video. I do apologize, I haven't been pushing out a lot lately, but it's going to continue to come. So please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you guys haven't done so already. Hope you enjoyed it. This is John. Peace out.